GM, what's good, people? It is currently 25 minutes. No, it's currently 15 minutes past 5 p.m. UK time, Sunday, the 25th of January, 2026. Welcome to episode 15 or 16, I can't remember exactly, of Mycelink Sundays. This is a free weekly webinar covering macro, crypto, stocks, and even a bit of AI. Mycelink is a decentralized ecosystem of like-minded individuals birthed in early Q4 2025. We're just a group of homies who are all interested in generational wealth, investing, trading, crypto, AI, stocks, wellness, etc. As of time of recording, 25th of January 2026, Mycelink is a non-legal registered entity, though that may change in future, as I always iterate. So from inception to time of recording now in January 2026, we're not a legal business. Nothing is registered. We're just a group of homies who like sharing information and are trying to build a super dope community. This free webinar is every single Sunday, 5 p.m. UK time. Check your time zones. Originally 10 p.m. UK time. That may change in future. Stay up to date on the Mycelink social media. I must iterate that nothing in this video is financial advice. We do not intend to be perceived or received as financial advisors. However, we are working in conjunction and collaboration with several accredited financial advisors. Even one of the homies inside the Zoom is a financial advisor, but I won't out him. Please always do your own research. Everything is your responsibility. We do not take responsibility for any profits or losses. We don't take any credit. We just hope that you learn something and we build something great. I'm going to come off camera as I'm only on camera to say hello. Typically speaking, this webinar is opened up by the homie Krog, who starts off with geopolitics and news. For whatever reason, he couldn't make it today. I think he's traveling somewhere in Vietnam. The structure of these Sunday webinars are as approximately follows. Krog usually opens up with geopolitics and news. However, Kryza will cover that. I do a section which I like to call macro and memes, where I look at the macro economy, including on-chain data and cryptocurrency, and also talk about some meme coins. In the Q&As, I can cover the stock market also in individual stocks. My wife, Halima, typically does a health and wealth meditation, and then we usually wrap up with Kryzo doing futures and any Q&As. This webinar can be anything from 1 hour to 2 hours, depending on questions, attendance, and how deep we go. Let's get started. Kryzo, are you ready with some geopolitics and news that will be usually covered by Krog?
Yeah. So, hi guys. Right, I'm just gonna get right into it. We've had a busy week, and we've got a busy week coming. Right. So first of all, there is warfare with Iran. Amongst all the other countries. Um, Trump has said a armada of warships towards um is going towards Iran. So just in case, right? So there is a lot of warfare right now. With Greenland, there is some sort of treaty going on where America gets to keep some sort of land and some have some control of minerals over there. So he's taken back the tariff statements that he was going to put on them. However, he's just threatened Canada with 100% tariffs if it makes a deal with China, right? So he's on smoke. Honestly, personally, I think the guy's trying to manipulate the markets because he makes it go down, go up, go down, go up based on what he says. He knows what he's doing, right? But still, 100% tariffs has been threatened. Do I think it's gonna happen? No, right? But it's still noteworthy because it's not good for crypto. All this bad news is not good for crypto, especially this one. A government shutdown is possibly coming. Another one, right? A partial government shutdown, which is definitely not good for crypto. Um, bit after a Minneapolis, I don't know how to say that, shooting, right? So yeah,
Minneapolis.
that's it, Minneapolis. That's it. Yeah, that's not good. But something that is good is that gold and silver is possibly rotating into Bitcoin, right? This is the Google AI review, right? It says usually capital often flows from safe haven assets like gold and silver into risk on assets like Bitcoin. Right now, check this out. Let me just turn this off. All-time highs, baby. Silver is $100. I have a chain that I bought from like 2019. And I think I got it for like 30 quid, $30. On a, it was a gift. Now it's worth about 150. So crazy stuff from gold, all-time highs, almost at 5K. This is crazy. So where is this gonna go? It's gonna go down into crypto, hopefully, right? Because when it just starts dumping, they're gonna be looking for another place to put it in. And Bitcoin is currently at 87K. So yeah, it's definitely
Hello,
a sorry, what was that?
hello, undervalued.
Yep,
Hello,
exactly.
undervalued.
So they're gonna go from a overvalued asset to a extremely undervalued asset right now. However, personally, I am slightly in fear. I don't think we're in a bear market yet, but I do think it's a possibility. However, CZ, the founder of Binance, uh, yeah, has said this. Wait, can you hear my screen? Can you hear that?
I can hear it, but if you turn up a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much. I hope you guys heard that, but there were subtitles. Fucking hell, man. That's good stuff. That's good news. If this guy thinks it's not like he's a pro trader. He's pretty much just he just made he's a programmer pretty much. Like, but at the same time, he's very within the scene. He's very within crypto, and what he said is so true about how other countries are getting behind crypto now. So much more different than it was before. Whereas just random people, a few different investment firms. But Jesus Christ, like we've got America, going crazy with it this time. Right, this is so unfortunate because it's trying to make me subscribe for this. But I was just trying to say that there's another interest rate decision coming very soon. I think it's this week. Um, but if we get a drop in interest rates again, that's a big plus. And who knows, with the Fed chairman getting threatened by with legal action, stuff like that, and all that sort of news. Also, BlackRock CIO could be the next Fed chairman. I've that's been going through the what's it called, the vine the vine trees, I think. Right. Anyways, that's it for me. That's pretty much the news that's so far relevant. Um, be careful. Be careful because it could go up or down. If we have a catalyst anytime soon, if we do go to war, I'm not gonna say we're gonna go up or down, but I'm just saying things are going to be happening. We're going to be quite volatile around, like within the next few days, I think, personally. But yeah, that's it from me, Ninja. What's your take on all that?
Yes,
Oh,
sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you filling in last minute from Krog with geopolitics and news. Um, this might sound a little bit, not to disregard everything you said, but I try not to get too caught up in the geopolitics and the news, um, because in the past I've found that overly focusing on quantitative analysis doesn't lead you very far. So I prioritize qualitative numbers and maths and statistics and charts first. Um, what I will say is, historically speaking, war has actually been very bullish for crypto. For example, in times when it was kicking off between Ukraine and Russia, um, tension in the Middle East in like 2000. I remember there was like super tension in the Middle East in 2024, and that was Solana meme coin AI season, and we saw multi-billion-dollar runners. So the way I look at it is, I do see a lot of this stuff as a distraction to retail. I
yeah.
will iterate a tweet that I posted on Mycelink a couple of weeks ago. One second, let me see if I can find it. It was basically comparing global interest of crypto to the price of crypto. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully, I can. Yeah,
Yeah,
right here. Okay. If we, I mean, I tweeted this 13 days ago, but let's actually check it on Google Trends. I'm going to assume that basically nobody cares about crypto. Let's check, right? So if we go to Google Trends and we type in just like Bitcoin, and then we look at the global search terminology and we go to like worldwide, and then we go to 3 months, not even 3 months. Okay, so what is it? Isn't it very interesting how this height of 21st? In fact, let's go past year. Okay, so this was Bitcoin all-time high. If I go to BTC, Bitcoin all-time high was the, if I put it on a daily time frame, what was the exact day again? All-time high Bitcoin, like the 5th of October, right? And then the all-time peak of worldwide Bitcoin searches was like a month later. So the world is slow to react um to markets. And I think being a market practitioner, I've learned to put I've learned to put the technicals, especially after meeting, like after I met Trades by Sai in person, and he told me he pretty much doesn't listen to the news at all. Like with keyword being at all. I just started shutting the blindfolds and just looking at the data. So data is telling me crypto is hell undervalued. I don't want to worry too much about war breaking out here and there. I don't think, like, the ultimate capitulation, like, I don't think that the market can be more bearish than the drop of Q1 2025. Because this was the first time ever talked about tariffs, right? And this was like all hell breaking loose here. This drawdown here. So I don't believe that, even though numerically Bitcoin has drawn down a similar amount to this time here, I don't believe that the state of the world right now is more unsure than the state of the world here. Like, just using my instinct and using, I guess you could say, experience, I don't see the quantitative capitulation of the world being worse right now than here. This, I'll be honest, I wasn't super aggressive. I wasn't like an ultra bull. I was actually quite scared. I was thinking, what the fuck? Like, is this gonna go down further? Like, it just doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. But this makes so much sense. This makes so much sense because if we look at history, right, like literally recent history, some of the most bullish catalysts for crypto, like fundamentally speaking, have happened against the downturn. And at the same time, on a technical basis, oh, my bad, my bad. Let me just, oh, god damn, Matrix trying to tap me. Yeah, so let's just compare Bitcoin. Let's just leave Bitcoin at the top and then just compare it with basically everything else, right? So let's take up the S&P 500. All right, so
There's something I'd like to add on about this news idea, right? I think
yeah,
in the long term, I think Ninja's very right. It usually doesn't affect the markets that much. You don't usually see like a massive pump right after the interest rates go down or something like that. But if you are trading on higher leverage, you usually see a bit of fluctuation. It goes down really fast and you see it go back to the same price right after. So just be careful if you trade on higher leverage with news. But even then, we don't really recommend trading with higher leverage. That's it. That's it. That's it.
yeah, for sure. So look here, right? Since Bitcoin peaked and has been on this downtrend, the S&P 500 is up, right? And then we got the Nasdaq. Like how many companies in the Nasdaq? In fact, I'm gonna ask Grok right now. Hey, Halima's here. Halima's here. If I ask Grok right now, so the Nasdaq 100 is top 100 US tech, right? How many companies? Hey, you good? How many companies in the Nasdaq 100 have some kind of crypto Bitcoin exposure? Exposure. Name me the top 10 companies in the Nasdaq that have crypto related assets, e.g., Coinbase, and their market cap. Okay. By the way, we like to prompt live on Mycelink because we make a point that almost all the information in the world that you could ever need is available for free. Of course, I'm not saying you should never pay for information behind paywalls. I do pay for some information behind paywalls, but almost everything is available. So yeah, you got the Nasdaq since Bitcoin topped this slightly broken highs. But you know what really gets me? Really gets me is this index here called the Russell 2000. So the Russell 2000 is the 2000 smallest equities in the United States. So the 2000 smallest stocks, right? Um, since basically historically speaking, if I just put this on a monthly time frame, the Russell 2000 needs to break all-time highs before a bull market can start, right? So let's take previous cycles. So let's take like the 2017 bull market where Bitcoin went from $500 at the start of 2017 all the way to $18,000 in sorry, Bitcoin went from, in fact, I'll actually show you guys. Let me put this on like a weekly time frame. All right, so for those new to Mycelink, we're really big on I guess you could say back testing and historical data, right? So in a year that Bitcoin went from sub $500 or $500 ish to nearly $20,000 in 1 year, like it did a 40x, right? Look at what the Russell 2000 did in that time. So the Russell 2000 needed to break its previous high, basically here. So 2017, basically here, January 2017. Look, January 2017, the Russell 2000 is in the smallest 2,000 US stocks. So this is the greatest indicator of well, one of the greatest indicators of risk on sentiment, right? Let me take that down to like January 2018. So look, in the time that the Russell 2000 broke its all-time highs, Bitcoin did a 40x, right? That was 2 cycles ago. Let's go to the previous the previous, I guess you could say, year of euphoria, which was 2021, right? For those in crypto, you will know about this era of crypto. If you don't, you can look into it. It's basically where like meme coins were flying. Look how it breaks the all-time high. Oops. The Russell 2000 breaks the all-time high, and then Bitcoin literally sends from like 10,000 all the way to 60,000. Basically right at this inflection point, right here, December 2020. Bitcoin, boom, goes on a 1 year run. Obviously, we have drawdown in between, but we have this insane run, right? In that time, look how the Russell 2000 literally peaks at the same time. If I can give everyone one of the greatest things that will catapult yourself in terms of long-term investing and long-term trading, right? Like I say to people, my trades are anything from 48 hours to like 9 weeks. I've held trades for months, right? Is compare how money flows in different charts. And the Russell 2000, so I just showed you 2 previous cycles, yeah. The Russell 2000 has literally just broke its all-time high. So looking at everything from a macro, if you look at Bitcoin on an individual asset time basis, like you didn't know anything about macro, you would look at this chart and say, this is a bearish chart. I do not think, and I'm gonna put my name on this, I do not think Bitcoin will hit 74K. I could be incorrect, but I don't think Bitcoin's gonna hit 74K. You cannot use only technical analysis to judge the long term of cryptocurrency. You will get blown out, right? You have to look at the world from a more bird's eye view. Even though we're technically breaking structure here, I don't think we're going to go down to 74K based on macro. So let's have a look at some macro charts. So right now it is a commodities run. We can see here that copper is at all-time highs, setting higher lows. I keep revisiting this every single webinar, and I'm going to keep repeating myself. This is the copper gold ratio, right? And before the 2008 crash, post 2008 financial crash, this has always been in line with euphoric bull markets. So euphoria is when everybody's involved in the market. As you can see through multiple metrics, the average person doesn't care about crypto. So congratulations on being here. When copper will absolutely, in the near future, start outperforming gold in the sense that, oof, God, 4988. Oh my God, right. So there's going to be an inflection point where either gold goes down and copper goes up, right? Or gold slows down and consolidates and copper goes up. One out of two. Gold is not just going to keep ripping. Like I think it's going to stall out near 5,000 if I were to guess, because I understand that institutions like round numbers. But yeah, this is the copper gold ratio, and these 4 times are in line with extreme euphoria in the market, including cryptocurrency going crazy. On a macro, you have to understand that this insane run of gold from I guess you could say this mid 2024 breakout this right here is tens of trillions of dollars. I don't know the exact number. It's definitely 10 trillion plus, right? This amount of money in Bitcoin, and I'm not saying it's going to go in Bitcoin, would skyrocket Bitcoin to damn near $750,000. It would like 6-7x Bitcoin immediately. I said this in previous webinars. I'll say it again because I understand people don't watch every webinar. We got new people. As time goes by, and these markets are more and more random and harder to predict, as more and more retail are inside the trading investing space. As long as Trump is alive, I believe that the markets are programmed to basically keep going up, keep going up, keep going up with drawdowns in between. I would be fearful if I didn't see all this liquidity go in precious metals. Platinum is also at an all-time high. Not many people are really talking about this. So we have platinum, silver, gold, and copper at all-time highs. But look at the Bitcoin gold ratio. This is the price of gold in Bitcoin. So it's currently 17.63 ounces of gold, with gold valued at nearly $5,000 an ounce for 1 BTC. The last time we were here was in December 2023. Guess where we were in late 2023? Oh, if I just go back to my tweet, this is where we were in cryptocurrency search terminology in late 2023. Bitcoin and crypto are the most undervalued assets on planet Earth, in my opinion. Bitcoin is the greatest spot leverage or large money, low leverage trade you can make in existence at today's price. Like, I'm going to give a trade idea straight away, right? So, basic investor concept: if you can't invest in it 3 times, you can't afford it, right? So I like to do that with my trades. I like to have enough money in my leverage trading where if I enter here, I tell myself I'm going to enter here and maybe here. Like, I'll put the same amount of money 2 more times minimum, right? So let's say here are your 3 levels. And let's say you do like let's call it 5x leverage long, right, on BTC. To get wiped out on your 5x leverage long, BTC would have to go down to 71k. Now, in terms of technical analysis, based on a chart, if I didn't know this was Bitcoin, would I say it can go down to 71k? Yes, I would say that. But because I read multiple data sets, including liquidity and on-chain data, my research, which is way too deep to explain on this one, that this is extremely unlikely, right? So even right now, I'm just waiting for a sniper price to load in a large 3 to 5x leverage trade. And then what I actually do is, as someone who believes in crypto long term, like I kind of mix investing and trading, where let's say I'm successful in a 5x long, right? And then I exit the trade here. Like, I don't know how long it's going to take. I think it's going to I'm definitely sure it's going to close by 31st of March because I have long time horizons. So let's say I'm correct here of 44% times 5. That's 200%, that's a 3x, right? So let's say hypothetically speaking, put 2k in this trade here. We exit here with 6k, right? I'm just giving a trade idea. With this profit, I'm gonna wait till Bitcoin pulls back a bit because obviously there'll obviously be a pullback at all-time highs. There's no way there's not gonna be a pullback. I may do a little short, and then maybe at this price here, I'm just gonna actually buy Bitcoin, and I'm just gonna hold it, or I'll buy a mixture of crypto assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, whatever. Okay, let's go over some macro. This is a website called finance.fijisolutions.net. It's a website that I visit regularly to view liquidity in the Fed, so the Federal Reserve. As you can see here, liquidity has been rising, setting higher lows and higher highs, if you can call it that, in terms of liquidity. I think it's very interesting how the most bearish news is coming out when the market was falling, when the market was falling and liquidity was draining, from my perspective, there wasn't that much bearish news. Like, people didn't really care about crypto anyway. Okay, Bitcoin's at all-time highs, but meme coins and altcoins are not skyrocketing, which is where retail liquidity comes into, right? In the time that liquidity is draining and that Bitcoin is falling, we have amazing things in crypto, such as the Solana ETF, so the exchange traded funds, being approved literally like over here, making Solana an institutional asset. I could go on forever about quantitative bullish narratives about Solana, including but not limited to the integration of X and PayPal USD. You know, PayPal being like the third biggest payment processor in the world, releasing their stable coins on chain on Solana. So it's very interesting how liquidity is rising whilst we have all these catalysts. This right here is the TGA, which is the savings account of the Fed. As we can see, if you can call it that, we've got lower highs. Basically, this has an inverse relationship with liquidity. I expect this to come down, liquidity to increase, and the market to price in the potential of somebody in Trump's cabin replacing Jerome Powell in the Fed as of May 2026. So I'm very bullish on crypto. This website is called DeFiLlama.com. It basically measures on-chain data of total value locked in cryptocurrency. As you can see right now, we've got $119 billion across all chains. This is still lower than the 2021 high. What I really like about the progression of total value locked in crypto is that instead of having this euphoric rise, we've had a gradual rise. And I understand it's been a choppy market, but I am very confident that that upon euphoria kicking in, this is gonna skyrocket, which is basically locking up price. Because remember, price goes up and down for two main reasons. Reason number one is that institutions and the global liquidity pool is buying or selling assets on spot. And then the other factor is leverage trading, right? Which basically exacerbates the direction in either upside or downside. Ethereum is still the big player with $70 billion in TVL out of 119 billion locked. However, Solana is the newcomer on the block, man. I like the fact that Solana TVL is higher than the previous bull market. However, and I've said this time and time again, if you put a gun to my head, God forbid, and you said like you got to buy one asset in crypto for this cycle, it will be Solana. I'm not saying there's not things that are going to outperform Solana, but I'm saying that this is probably, in my non-financial advice opinion, the best risk to reward asset on planet Earth. Why? Because I mean, it's 100% from the 6th of September high. I could bet my bottom dollar it's gonna go back here, right? Actually, it's like the easiest 100% on spot in the world. And then mixed with the fact that if I go to so this website by farside.co.uk looks at exchange traded fund flows. Of course, the Solana ETF is very new. And as we can see here, in US millions, this is crazy inflows, guys. This is a lot of money in Solana. This is basically like $1 billion. 682,147,119. Okay, minus 102. Yeah, well, $873 million in Solana in literally 1 month. I think I read on an institutional report that Solana makes up for nearly 2% of all crypto exchange traded funds. Let me go back to Grok for a second, because I've prompted this before with regards to the Russell 2000. The NASDAQ. So the number of NASDAQ 100 companies with crypto Bitcoin exposure, approximately 12 companies have some kind of crypto Bitcoin exposure. This includes direct holdings of Bitcoin in their balance sheets. Blockchain infrastructure support. So we've got MicroStrategy. Oh my God, right? if you have no exposure to the stock market and you want to put money in the stock market, or you want a stock runner, I put my bets on MicroStrategy. Like it, if you had no understanding of what this company is, you could look at this and be like, "That's a really shit chart," right? But as somebody who's studied the greats of investing, I understand that this is the best spot stock leverage play of BTC in the world right now, in the sense that MicroStrategy are the third biggest Bitcoin holder on planet Earth. It literally goes as following. Number one is Satoshi Nakamoto, the original wallet, right, of the creator of Bitcoin. I think there's like 5 to 7% of all of Bitcoin in this wallet. It's never been moved. Number two is BlackRock. And number three is MicroStrategy. If you believe in Bitcoin, this is the generational low. I mean, could it go lower? Yes, maybe. But this accumulation zone, like, I think that this is a very similar to like Nvidia. I think the position of MicroStrategy right now is like Nvidia in like 2020, 2021. Third biggest holder of Bitcoin, guys. They own like 3% of the whole supply. Tesla, PayPal, Nvidia. I didn't know that. AMD, Intel, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Qualcomm, and Shopify. Crazy. Tesla holds 11,500 BTC, so 1% of the supply is 21,000. Yeah, that's like 0.5% of the supply. That's a lot. That is a lot. Okay. In fact, let's have a look at flows for Bitcoin. Okay, this is very interesting. Fuck off, team, man. Advertising to me, man. You know, what's very interesting is that this year we have a minus in the ETF flow. So we have a withdrawal of what's that in millions? We have a withdrawal of $1.1 billion taken out of the Bitcoin ETFs in January. In Ethereum, we have $500 million out, but in Solana, we have $1 billion. Well, 873 million, damn near $1 billion in. Let's go to coinmarketcap.com, which is the number one website in the world for cryptocurrency information and data. There is only $69 billion invested in Solana. So that means that the ETF flows make up for more than 1% of Solana's entire market cap. This is very, very interesting. It makes me even more bullish on Solana. That's basically the TLDR. Let's have a look at the Fear and Greed Index. What's that thing Warren Buffett says? Buy when others are fearful, be fearful when others are greedy, right? You can see here that we did peak to neutral and now we are back in the fear zone. Do I think we want to touch extreme fear? No. However, I do think we have a small amount of consolidation and downside. Just looking at some basic analysis and chart structures of crypto. Feel free to screenshot and steal my watch list. Right now, there's $3 trillion in crypto. That's the total market cap. Interestingly enough, if I put this on the longer time frame, this was the peak of 2021. So there's literally as much money in crypto right now in January 2026 than there was in October 2021. That's 4.5 years later. Do you know how much money printing has happened in this time? It's insane. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and a lot of people might see like gold going up, silver going up, everything going up, and crypto is just not doing what we want it to, right? But remember, the market doesn't reward you in the time period that you want it. This is why time in the market beats timing the market. Time in the market beats timing the market. I don't know exactly how long this is going to consolidate for, but I understand that this is a huge value opportunity. $1.2 trillion taken out of crypto. You don't think the it's going to go back? Of course it's going to go back. Of course it's going to go back. This is crypto minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then right now in altcoins, there's only $826 billion. Of which, well, this is minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. Of which, most of this money is taken up by Solana, XRP, and BNB, to be honest. So this is, I guess you could say, your super altcoins. So everything below the top 10, everything below your stable coins. So everything from here, Bitcoin Cash and below. There's only $200 billion. That's $0.2 trillion. Yeah, so I think crypto is highly undervalued. If you want to have a look at some place in the stock market, I think Coinbase is on a great buy right now. What else? Have a look at Ethereum real quick. No, why are you freezing? Why are you freezing? Yeah, if you look on a structural basis, Ethereum doesn't look amazing. But if you look at it from an accumulation basis, I think Ethereum is at a decent price. I think we could touch 2.6. This would be kind of like the low the boat price for Ethereum. I could go over more individual assets, but I will not because I want to have a look at a quick institutional report. We'll close this. We'll leave those on-chain data metrics for a second. I'll have a look at those in a second. I want to just quickly skim through a report by Andreessen Horowitz, aka Ai16z. So they are one of the biggest. They're one of the biggest. I guess you could say. Okay, so who are Andreessen Horowitz? Andreessen Horowitz, aka Ai16z. They are like the venture capital of venture capital for cryptocurrencies. So at the top of my head, like Chainlink, Polkadot, I can't remember exactly which one, so I don't want to misquote. In fact, let me ask Grok. How many name me top 10 crypto investor rounds led by Ai16z in the past 5 years. So before cryptocurrencies, or historically speaking, before cryptocurrencies reach mainstream adoption, so like on Binance and Coinbase, they typically go through multiple funding rounds. So there's like pre-seed, seed A, seed B, and there's a lot of crypto investing companies. There's Grayscale, which is, I guess you could say, the oldest crypto asset management company, but Ai16z specifically, their name is everywhere in crypto with regards to leading investment rounds. So that's a little bit about them. But they released something called the State of Crypto Report. If I can give you guys a tip on how to stay informed in crypto, one of the best ways is, instead of like always scrolling at X, is actually to read institutional reports by the biggest players. So there's a few slides on here that really stood out to me. You can just type this on Google, State of Crypto 2025. So top assets by market cap, as you can see here, gold has an 11x multiple on crypto. Sorry, on a Bitcoin alone. Where else are we looking? Crypto is multi-chain with Ethereum and it's layer 2, so things built on Ethereum. Solana and Bitcoin attracting the most developers. So top blockchains by open source developers, Ethereum still leading the charge, but Solana coming at a nice second. In fact, more people developing on Solana than Bitcoin itself. And then by builder interest, we have the base chain, which is built on top of Ethereum. Second, and Solana on close number 3. It's estimated that there's currently 40 to 70 million monthly active users of cryptocurrencies, people who use crypto on a regular basis. This makes up for less than 1% of the world, as we have nearly 9 billion people on planet Earth. And I think there's an interesting disparity in this metric where the world has like an 8 to 10% crypto adoption in terms of ownership, but inside this ownership is people who own £5 worth of Bitcoin on Coinbase and forgot about it, right? So out of the people who actually own crypto, less than 10% are active users. 2025 was a year of institutional adoption. So some of the largest institutions are embracing crypto. We've got BlackRock, the biggest asset management company in the world, with I believe 12 to 13 trillion dollars of assets under management. Um, uh, Visa have launched their tokenized platform. PayPal have a stablecoin now. Mastercard have partnered with Circle, so basically USDC enabling stablecoin settlements. Anyone who backs with Revolut knows they're super crypto friendly, etc., etc. Let's get through this.
Can I just add something?
Yes,
So,
sir.
do you know I said BlackRock is you know, quite pro crypto. So, do you remember when I
Mm-hmm.
said BlackRock CIO is looking at
Yeah,
being
the
put
chief
up?
investment officer.
Yeah, they're looking at putting him as the next Federal Reserve chairman.
What's he called? BlackRock CIO, the chief investment officer of BlackRock.
Yeah, there's word going around that, imagine how pro crypto that would be if he was the chairman of the USA.
Yeah, I don't think people understand that. Like, if Bitcoin can go down by like 10% in a day, right, and slap down by 25% in a week. Let's just look at let's just look at how quickly Bitcoin slammed down from like all-time high to this low. On the other side is that it can go up really fast. It went down by 36% in literally a month. Yeah, a catalyst like that can send Bitcoin up very fast. Like you see here, people quick to forget. Literally from Literally Bitcoin went from 40K to 80K from in Q1 2024. Man, who the fuck is drawing on my screen? The hell?
That's jokes. Who did that?
Alright, no worries.
We didn't like the information we were giving out, man.
They didn't like it, man. They didn't like it. Well, maybe somebody sold their Bitcoin and now they're annoyed. Um, yeah. So, um, Rick Raid. Yeah, okay, you know what's gonna be very interesting? Let's have a look at if you go to Polymarket. For those that don't know Polymarket, it's the #1 world events betting site in the world. Not that I bet on here, but it's good to have a look. Let's have a look at the Polymarket odds. Holy shit!
Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh my god, man! Who the hell is drawing on my screen?
Bro, they're probably like really gassed. Like, no way.
All right, cool. Um, yeah, these are really good odds. I
Who's
always
right, okay, you can turn that off, you know.
I don't know how to turn this shit off. Man, somebody trolling him.
So,
I wish I knew who it was, but I don't. Right, I'm gonna assume everyone's gonna behave in this webinar. You know, I'm gonna assume you're gonna behave. I'm out here giving free information. Okay. Yeah, that would be crazy for the market. That would literally turn around everything. That one catalyst would turn around everything. Let's have a look more here. Oh, stablecoins now rival the world's largest payment networks and transaction volume. Adjusted, stablecoins did $9 trillion of value last year, which is comparable to Visa's 16 trillion. Stablecoins are already a top 20 holder of you. Right. Someone's taking the piss. How do I not allow people to do this? But I think it's because I put multiple participants can share. I've changed it now. All right, so hopefully no one can draw now on my screen.
nah, I can still draw.
All right, I'm gonna have to address this now. Yo, who's Ezekiel, man? 'Cause I don't know who this person is. And who's Francis?
Francis is Harrison. Oh, Francis, you know who Francis is. Ezekiel, I don't know though.
All right, Ezekiel, unless you tell me who you are, I'm kicking you out because I think it's you. All right, 3. I joined from your IG. All right, Mateus, are you trolling me, my bro? It's not me, bro. Fuck's sake. Who's doing this?
Not me.
Yeah, we didn't think it was you, Halima. Don't worry.
No, I don't think it's you. Anyway, come on, guys. We've given out free information, man. Real world assets are bridging traditional finance and crypto with $30 billion already on chain. BlackRock currently have $2.6 billion in total value locked on the chain. The NFT market appears to be shifting from speculating to collecting as new low-fee blockchains expand total number of participants. I'm just going to quickly look at NFTs for a very short period of time. I'm not saying you should buy NFTs right now. I'm certainly not putting money in NFTs right now. I'm certainly not putting money in NFTs right now. However, I just want to iterate, right? I just want to iterate that there's certain collections that, if you believe in them, like the Lil Pudgy's NFT collection, if you don't know about Lil Pudgy's and the Igloo ecosystem and everything to do with this company, just understand they're like the biggest intellectual property ever in crypto. Like, if there was a time to buy long term on something like Lil Pudgy's, if I show you here like the all time price action of these things, 1 second. Come on, man. It's just disrespectful at this point. Come on, man. Bruh. I'm gonna have to look into this next time because I can't be disturbed like this. Someone here's taking the piss. Yeah. Right now, like Lil Pudgy's in 0.53 Ethereum. I honestly think they're gonna go back up here at some point. I don't know when, because we have to understand about NFTs that they are at the very edge of the risk curve, right? So, taking the piss, man. Whoever's doing this, I hope you learn to be less childish. So, we have to understand is the risk curve, right, goes.
We should address climate change. And it's setting up before you continue, because you're just gonna.
I know.
It says something about the annotations.
Go to annotations.
Yeah, disable annotations.
What? Where?
While sharing screen, click more.
Wait. What? Advanced share.
Three dots or something. Oh, the more section it might be.
More, yeah.
Something to do with annotations.
Dog.
Actually, a term for it is called Zoom bombing. When people just draw and sleep.
Fuck's sake, man. You need to turn it off, bro, on the settings.
Yo, Ezekiel, could you
Click more.
could you reply to my
Three
private
dots.
message?
Yeah. Share whiteboard options. Guys, I'm sorry to disturb the webinar in between here, but I can't present information if someone's gonna keep drawing on my screen. I actually don't know who's doing it. Like, I would kick them out if I knew who's doing this. On the settings. Docs. I don't know where the fuck this is, man. All right, guys, I've removed Ezekiel. I think it was him. Hopefully I was right. Okay, back to the information. I'm so sorry, guys. I will try to make sure that doesn't happen again in the future. Okay. Right, so let's have a look at some on-chain data. And then I want to go over some meme coins, as I want to call my section macro meme coins. So this website here is charts.checkonchain.com, where you can read about on-chain data. What I love about crypto is the edge that we can have in crypto is that we can read data sets from wallet activity. This is not a data set that you can get from the stock market or forex or commodities, because everything on the blockchain is transparent. When you go to this website, it typically takes you to light mode, meaning that the charts will have a white background. I typically like dark mode. Now, two indicators that I like to have a look at are here, the supply. So this is the short-term holder supply and profit and loss ratio. Short-term holders are defined as those who've held for 155 days or less. Because it's red, gold, and green, and I have lots of Jamaican friends, I like to call this the Rastafari indicator. Right? What it means is this, my friends. Once it hits here, right, this line here, this means that those who have held Bitcoin for 155 days or less, 95% are in break even, right? And most people, most retail, are not able to hold for 155 days. Coinbase, I remember reading an institutional report, said that most people hold crypto assets for an average of 17 days. 17 days before exiting in mainly loss, right? Most people who enter the market lose money. That is the truth, unfortunately. And we make money as profitable participants. If you're not currently profitable, I pray that you continue in the markets until you push the needle to become profitable. And speaking to those that are profitable, we only make money because most people lose money. And that's just the way it goes, right? Just like 9% of business owners fail. So the last time people were on break even in Bitcoin overall, short-term holders, was 27th of October. And we've recently hit back to that break even on the 14th of Jan. This is a very long time for most of retail, which is why a lot of retail have gone through the drawdown and prayed to break even, broke even, and now we're getting a pullback. typically speaking, when this hits red, this capitulation here, right? You see this 95% loss. This line here means that 95% of people who bought Bitcoin in the past 155 days are in loss. This is where retail capitulates. We're going through what I would describe as a healthy correction, and I do believe that we're going to go back to these highs, and this basically follows price action. Next, we have where do we get this one? Excess. Yeah, on the funding rates, it's on excess days. So this is basically who's in the waiting room? One is in the waiting room. Should I let one in the waiting room or nah, Chrysal? Should I let him in or nah?
No, we
And
can't
then
trust.
brothers come back.
We can't trust no one nowadays.
No, don't
Yeah,
trust.
Nah.
No. You know what? We can. We'll let them in, and if the drawings continue, we know it's one.
All right, bet.
Yeah, give him
Fuck's
5
sake,
minutes.
it's madman here. Yeah. Hello, one. Who is one? I'm gonna assume one is not a troll. Hi. All right. One, I'm gonna assume you come here to learn and you're not gonna troll because we had to kick a troll out. So I start seeing trolling on my screen. I know it's you. Just here to watch a crypto webinar, bro. All right. No
I
problem.
mean,
No problem. I mean, okay, so oh, sorry. What was my point? My point on this is look at the lack of perpetual futures. Remember, futures exacerbate the direction of the market. It exacerbates the spot buying, right? Either to the upside or to the downside. What do you notice here? Let's go back to like 2023, right? What do we notice here? In times where this has typically been in line with price action rising. See, as you can see here, there's not much action. Price is consolidating. Here, this metric is going up. Price is rising. Okay. Here, price is consolidating. Over here, we have lots of price action. Here, what do we have? Lots of price action. Consolidation. Lots of price action. Now we're consolidating. So I expect at some point for this metric to rise, which will be in line with the rest of the market. Okay, so that is on-chain metrics. Just going to talk about meme coins for a second. So dexscreener.com, the number one website in the world to view meme coins. We've had a runner in the trenches recently. We've had the penguin narrative, which ran from literally at the start of the year. Oh my God, right? From 1 million all the way to 172 million. I remember having this on my watch list, but I didn't believe in the narrative. Do I think you should buy Penguin now? No. This is a bearish chart structure. I think it's going to go capitulate all the way down to possibly 41 or 25 million. And we've had the white whale. The white whale, which was another narrative where basically this crypto trader, the community made a meme coin about him, and yeah, this ran up by a lot. I'd love to say that I caught this. I didn't. We were sitting Christmas times around 20 million, and it ran all the way up to 200 million. The most important thing to learn about these two is we have not seen a meme coin reach. We have not seen a meme coin reach $100 million, $0.1 billion since the market crash of mid-October 2025, where we had the biggest liquidation event of all of crypto. We have not had that, right? So things like this basically show an indication of risk on sentiment being turned on. That's the biggest lesson. In terms of what I'm looking at in the meme coin market, just like I tweeted on Mycelink Twitter, we have the official 6-7 coin. I'm sure you guys know about the 6-7 meme. Damn, that's a mad capitulation. I like charts like this in the meme coin space. I think 6-7 could hit down to 6.2 million market cap. If it does, that's a pretty sensational ride. Assuming that the community keeps building. I think what I like about the 6-7 coin is they basically had the first mover advantage of capturing this trend. And literally, as I just observe life and I get on the tram and I'm just out in the world, I see kids say 6-7, and I just feel like this has insane like real world penetration. In terms of where I theorize it could actually go, I do think this is a 100 million runner. The journey of getting there can be a long and gruesome ride. So yeah, I would add this to your watch list. What else? I'm going to show something that I think is extremely high risk, high reward. So, following like the Davy Kitson, we'll let David in. We'll let David in. Okay. What up, David? We're coming towards near the end of the webinar, but welcome. I've just done a macro section. We're about to do a health and wealth meditation. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, fuck sake. Remove David. Remove David. Remove David. Why do people like this, man? Why do people like this? All right, David, gone. So if you want to bet on something that is extremely degenerate, the only reason why you have to be kidding me.
Move on.
Okay, one, you're going.
Yeah, I was thinking like, why did we add someone called number 1 in right after we kicked the troll up, bro?
Vicious.
Anyway, yeah. I have spent hours in this community, right? Basically, the narrative of Black Whale is that they're trying to kill the white whale. They're trying to kill the white whale. And when it comes to like just a dev who's working his absolute ass off on spaces, I'm gonna end with going to Axiom. So this is actually a more advanced deck screener. I'm just log in. Then I'm gonna give the floor to Halima, and then we'll take some Q&As. Yeah, so if you're not something more advanced than deck screener, you can go to Axiom, where you can actually look at the buys, right? I know the chart looks shit, right? And meme coins come with extreme high risk, high reward. That's why people invest $300 in something and pull out 100,000. Not the average person, but it can happen, right? Look at this. Do you know what DB means? DB means dev bought. The original creator of this coin at one point was up $500,000 and he didn't sell. He's not sold one damn token and he's working his absolute ass off. Now, does that guarantee the chart's going to go up? No, it doesn't guarantee anything, right? Anything can happen. Anything can happen in the world of crypto. But I personally am dollar cost averaging into this project. I'm going to bring this to millions, just extra work and effort, and I'm willing to do it. Like, this guy works so hard. Like, he's always paying for boosts. I don't know how much this guy spent on marketing. I've personally been in his voice chats for a while now. If not live, I'm catching up. And I even changed my profile picture. What the fuck are all these pings? Is this me? It might be the site. Yeah. This is my extreme high risk, high reward conviction play. Currently 14x from all time high. Is it guaranteed to go back up there? No. But I'm just saying it's not many times that the dev buys, and constantly pours into marketing and like always doing lives. These guys work super hard and build it on conviction. So they're my kind of two plays, 6-7 and Black Whale. 6-7 because of the cultural relevancy, and technically speaking, if you want to trade a chart in the meme coin space, you typically want a chart like 6-7 where it basically bounces and it has a good support and resistance system. Sorry, not system. Chart structure. Obviously, support's been broken here. I think we're going to capitulate to this price here, and then that's the generational buy of 6-7. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Halima, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Am I still the host? I am still the host. Do you want to put your camera on? And I think I can put you in the spotlight if you turn on your camera.
Hi.
What up?
Hello.
Hello. All right, I'm gonna give the floor to Halima with her health and wealth meditation, and then we'll be featured with Cry Zone Q&As.
Okay. Welcome, pure souls, to this guided meditation. Close your eyes. Let my voice carry you across the glittering waters of possibility. Feel your body surrendering its burdens. All the frantic energy of the markets gone. The terrible weight of doubt gone. The exhausting dance of fear gone. This is your year. This is your golden moment. Breathe in deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And release into the night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Again. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now picture yourself standing in a vast digital landscape, a luminous, sprawling territory where blockchain meets the beautiful machinery of the human consciousness. Golden Bitcoin symbols flow around you, each one glowing with that peculiar magic of wealth yet unmade. Beneath your feet, Ethereum crystals pulse with electric brilliance, creating a pathway that stretches towards the green promise of 2027. You are connected, like the roots of magnificent gardens, to a vast network of opportunity, abundance, and exponential growth. This is the Mycelink ecosystem, where one soul prospers, the entire grand party thrives. In 2026, these connections grow stronger. The network expands like a root system, reclaiming a lost forest. The possibilities multiply in the most extraordinary ways. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Think now of the generations who came before you. Those restless ghosts of ambition and sacrifice. Your parents, your grandparents, perhaps ancestors whose names you barely remember, but whose blood runs through your veins like old money. They worked with calloused hands. They preserved through the grey. Relentless years. They dreamed of something better, something more. They carried hopes in their pockets that would never bloom in their own gardens, so that you could stand here today. You honor them, not with sentiment, but with action, by seizing the dazzling opportunities of this new digital age. Now, shift to the present moment. This exquisite dawn of 2026. You have survived 2027. You have survived 2025. You learned, you adapted, you held fast when others crumbled like sandcastles at high tide. And now, turn your gaze forward towards the future that awaits. Visualize the generations that will follow, your children, your grandchildren, those who will inherit your wealth. Visualize them living with freedom, with abundance, with the choices you're creating right now, with security that seemed once upon a time impossible. Envision Bitcoin reaching heights that would make even the most ambitious dreamer blush. Your portfolio transformed into something almost indecent in its beauty. Now see yourself on December 31st, 2026, looking back at this very moment, this turning point, that singular moment when everything changed, when the music started playing just for you. You are building that foundation right now in this sacred, suspended moment. This is generational wealth, not merely money, but liberation, legacy, time, and that most precious commodity, peace of mind. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, pure souls, put your hand on your heart and repeat these affirmations after me. 2026 is my year of breakthrough and abundance. I am building wealth, a legacy that will outlive me. I am a money magnet. Money loves me and money is obsessed with me. I am a crypto wealth magnet. Opportunities flow to me. Every decision that I make ripples. I release all limiting beliefs. I embrace the blockchain revolution with open arms. My financial wisdom is the inheritance I leave, more valuable than a mansion. I make strategic moves with clarity, confidence, and intuition. I am patient with exponential growth. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. And release, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Repeat after me. I trust myself to navigate in this new economy with grace. My success uplifts my entire community. I am worthy of massive wealth. Fear does not dictate my moves. Vision guides me forward like a lighthouse. I am the ancestor of my future generations that will celebrate in hushed, reverent tones. Through Mycelink, I am rooted in purpose and connected to prosperity. I create generational wealth through blockchain. Transport yourself now to December 31st, 2026, 1 year hence. Your portfolio has transformed into something that would make even the wealthiest man jealous. You trusted the process, you held through the chaos, and you made bold moves when others cowered in corners. Golden emerald light surrounds you, the radiant glow of financial freedom fully realized. You look back at today, at this meditation, and recognize it as the moment you decided, that beautiful, terrifying moment that you committed to your own magnificent future. Every decision you make this year plants seeds that will grow into your forest your great-grandchildren will walk through. 2026 is the year you build wealth beyond your most extravagant dreams. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Release, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Repeat after me. I'm worthy of generational wealth. 2026 is my year of massive financial breakthrough. I am consistent with strategic action. I am the bridge between generations. The super cycle is mine. The wealth is mine. This year is mine. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Release, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. When you're ready, blink your eyes open. You are grounded, you are connected, and you are ready. Welcome to 2026. Welcome to Mycelink. and welcome to your legacy year. 26, welcome to Mycelink, and welcome to your legacy year. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful.
Thank you, guys.
Woohoo.
All right, Cryzo, are you ready? Are you ready to talk about futures?
Yes, indeed. Right, okay. Right, guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Let's go.
Okay.
So, Ninja, could you mute yourself? There's echo. Right, okay. Right, yo. So, just 1 second. Right, so I'm gonna be talking about a few things. This is gonna be posted onto YouTube, so just be prepped. So first of all, right, if you're looking on a short term, right, we're trading with leverage, so we need to be prepared for everything. Personally, right now, I do definitely believe there's a bit more to go down. If you look here on this liquidation heat map, around 86.9, just below 87K, there's a lot of liquidity, right? So right since we're here, we're definitely gonna go down there. We're gonna grab that before we move up to around personally I think around 93K after that. But nothing's confirmed yet except this move. I'm very certain about this move down to 86K. Last week I called, we're gonna be dipping. We did dip. Definitely not to 80K, but we dipped nonetheless. In terms of what's going on the uptrend, we're ready to rip anytime soon. Personally, I would love to see this RSI go down, which I think it will do when it makes that move a bit lower, before it goes to the moon like we want. It could be this move, it could be the one after it. Who knows? But I'm expecting it to go down, then really quickly make a move back up to at least 93K. Before retesting just above this point, and then starting to go back higher. Yeah, we are bullish, but just in case anything does happen, we would want to avoid seeing it. This is a screenshot from Professor Adam, by the way. It's just quickly showing you like in this recent trend, where the bottom level and top level is. So I wouldn't really go short here, because it's not really worth it. However, I would be looking to long once it gets a bit lower. This is what it's telling you, right? This bottom one is around 86K. The top line is I think 92.5K, right? So to move up higher, we want to go above this level, then break and retest, make some moves up around here, chop up, and then we start to move up. That's what we'd want to see, right? Because it's not just gonna start flying up unless we add some crazy catalyst, which is possible. But yeah. So we've also got what's it called, the gold and silver rotation into these assets, right? Like I said before, we're flying high, right? And like Ninja said, it's a good thing. And along with this, we've also got the Federal Reserve constantly putting more money into, the Ninja had a better graph than me, right? But the Fed are looking to put more money in. This is another liquidation map, right? This is see these two big wicks. These are where we want to go up, go down, right? And then we'll probably go down here, then go up around here, 89K, before we start to move up to 93K after that, in my personal opinion. Just because when I see 93K, there was supposedly a CME gap around 93K, which I'm unsure about because I can't seem to find it. But I heard in the grapevine that there was a CME gap there. So yeah, that's pretty much my overall direction, right? Just a summary. I think it's gonna go down short term, then go up. to around at least, where was it? At least 89K. I think it's gonna break that point to 93K. We're just around here, like chop up, then push up a bit more, 93K before starting to go down a bit more. Yeah, in terms of altcoins, we're not looking too good, right? Hopefully we don't keep going down. This doesn't turn into a bear market, but which I don't, I don't think it will. But I'm just letting you guys know what to do because we're trading leverage, so you need to be careful. Like, it might, but we know that we're gonna pump at some point, but hopefully it doesn't chop up a bit longer around here. And just in case it does give us like a really weird death candle, goes down to like 82K for a second, which would probably send 83K, which would send alts quite low. Yeah, quite low. Just be careful, guys. Just be careful, especially with leverage. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I think we're gonna go a bit lower.
I would say it's not just be careful, it's be ready.
We're gonna go a bit lower. Yeah, definitely be ready for what's keep watching the charts. If we start to make moves lower down,
If we
you should
start
be
to
really
make
aware.
moves lower down, should be really aware.
There's echo coming from Ninja's mic. Yeah. Now there was something else I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, I want to teach you guys about fair value gaps and two different indicators, right? So usually we don't really look at indicators for just for the beginners, right? I want everyone to look at. Let me delete this. So this is the RSI, what I usually use. But then I also use MACD shown to me by Ninja. And this shows you momentum, right? So if you look close, right, there is still momentum. We are not seeing any shift in momentum. Like there is a push downwards, and the color hasn't changed to a lighter color, so it doesn't mean that the momentum is dying. You know what I mean? This is a really good a good indicator to show you when the end of a move is coming, right? So does that. Very good, by the way. Definitely use the MACD indicator. DMI, right? This one, two different lines. One is how many sellers there are, and the other line is how many buyers. The other one is, I think, it's a moving average or something. Ninja knows more, right? But these ones, it shows us when there's a crossing in the amount of sellers or the amount of buyers. So I think now we have had a cross of higher sellers. So
Sorry, by the way,
Higher sellers.
I take off the red G. Take off the red. If you go in the settings, it makes it clearer. So if you just hover left hand side, no, DMI. Yeah, can you adjust it? Wait, yeah. Right a bit. Yeah, style. Yeah, and then take off the ADX. Yeah, it makes it easier. So when the blue crosses the orange, it's a sign of bullish momentum. When the orange crosses the blue, it's a sign of bearish momentum.
Yep, so there's bearish momentum right now. Definitely something to look into.
Right now.
And there's one last thing. If I just take off
One last thing.
fair value gaps.
Fair value gaps.
Fair value gaps are when you see three candles or
Fair
more.
value gaps are when
Ninja, can you mute yourself?
candles.
Yeah, when there's like three candles or more, price goes down so fast that there's still orders in that part, right, that haven't been filled. So before we start to make a move down or up, we usually want to go back and touch this point and then go down. If it continues and pushes up above it, it shows that fair value gap has been disrespected and it is a bullish sign. So say when it is going down, right, when it hits around, I think if we do keep going down, we might go down for another 2 days. And if it does create a fair value gap, for example, I'd wait for it to, if I was bearish, I'd wait for it to go up, touch that point, and then carry on going down. But see, for example, you can have them on green candles too, right? Sometimes, and it could do the same on the way up, right? Very good tool. Definitely do research on them and learn how to use them properly, because they can really help you out with your strategy. And obviously, the last thing is the RSI. This is my Heikin-Ashi RSI, not mine, but someone made it. Heikin-Ashi is just Japanese guy. Simplified charts, right? And the RSI just tells you how expensive or cheap something is. So if it's at the bottom, it's cheap. If it's at the top, it's expensive. I usually go down from the weekly all the way to the 15-minute. You know what I mean? From to 4 hour to the hourly to the 30-minute to the 15-minute. Obviously the daily as well. And you can pretty much tell the direction overall from that. Sometimes we do have some weird factors, and there is a lot of market manipulation, so be wary of that. I see CVD bubbles, but we'll go into that another time. Right, that was it for me. I hope you learned something good from that. Just gave you a bit of the skills I would use to be able to determine the direction of this market. Right, so yeah, thank you so much, guys. That's it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's take some. Thank you very much for the analysis. My homie Justin, who is actually from Manchester and lives in London. I met him at the Trades by Sai running event. He's a young trader, also doing funded. Yeah, bro. Appreciate you being here. Any questions? Anything that you want us to have a look at? I know you messaged me saying you want to get into crypto investing, so I hope you enjoyed this, even though there was a bit of trolling in between.
Nah, bro, it's good. You answered all my questions, basically. Nah, bro, it's good. You answered all my questions, basically. Yeah.
So, do you have anything you want me to look at, or anything that you want to ask at the moment in
Nah.
crypto or stocks?
I don't know. Anything. Just put
Okay.
anything
Well,
up.
appreciate you being here. Hope we see you again. Go on.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you?
There's an echo.
Sorry. What? I didn't quite get.
There's an echo.
Oh, there's an echo.
Babe,
My
it's
bad.
hard. It's hard
I
to
think my
speak
computer
when you can hear yourself.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, I don't have any questions. Everything was answered, I'll definitely be there next week.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Ryland's here in person, so I'll leave him for in person. But yeah, appreciate you guys. See you on Sundays, and I will try to, everyone watching the replay, I will try to adjust settings so nobody can troll.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Guys, bye-bye.
Thank you.